Hi Scorpio, welcome to your May 2024 Astro Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign, but if you're only going to check out one, make sure it's for your ascendant. It's going to be that much more accurate for you on that day-to-day level. I am using whole sign tropical Western astrology for those of you that would like to know. And if I ever forget to put the dates or the degrees, etc. of transits, you'll always be able to find that in the description box below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For the first transit that I want to look at, your ruling planet, your ancient ruling planet Mars is going to come into the sign of Aries. Now for you, Aries occupies the 6th house, right? So this is the 6th house, which is your health, your physical health and vitality. It's your body. The 6th house is also your daily grind, your habits, your patterns, your routines. And within the 6th house, this is where we find whatever you have in your life, whether this is your career, whether it's your body, whether it's your, your car, your home, whatever the case might be, the 6th house is what you have to do to maintain those things. It's a maintenance house, right? It's a maintenance energy. Mars is energy, passion, excitation, war. Mars is also you. Because Mars rules your ascendant, which is your physical body, your, mind, your outlook, your personality. There's a double up of this physical health and vitality or physical self energy sort of combined in there, right? So there's a lot to think about here. Now, when it comes to this, Mars coming into the 6th house, it could be a really good time to eliminate something from your daily habits, your daily patterns, your daily routines that actually really enhance your life in some way, right? If Mars is a severing or a removing energy, and it's also an energy of energy and passion and vigor coming into the 6th house, this might be where you say, right, I'm quitting smoking. And this could be where you say, actually, you know what? I'm going to give up sugar for the next 6 weeks. And this is the time to do it because Mars is like, we've had Mercury retrograde in Aries and I don't know about anybody else, but I just felt so fucking laggy throughout the whole thing. It's been horrible, right? But this is like a really good jolt of energy. And so because it's in your 6th house, I really like this for you getting serious about some kind of health or lifestyle change. Mars will give you the power, the willpower to do it. And this is the perfect time. If there's something that you want to get rid of from your diet, if there's something that you want to embark on, like a health and fitness regime, if there's something that you know is going to require that extra amount of oomph or willpower, this is your moment to start it, right? And the reason I say that is because very often it's the getting started that we find hard, right? The maintenance is easy. And the example that I like to give of this is, it's like, you see those strong men, the bulk of their energy, the big sort of boost of their energy is just to get the truck moving. Once they've got that fucking giant 10-ton truck going, it's just hand over hand. That's what they always say, like it's getting the thing moving that's the problem, but after that you just keep it going, right? So this is your chance to give it a good tug to make it sort of happen. The 6th house is also the things that we've come somewhat slave to, right? Mars being a severing energy, this can see you getting rid of or releasing what feels like too much of a burden. It's like, you know what, this is no longer really, it's not making me happy, I don't feel good, I don't want it, whatever the case might be. What I will also say about this as well, it can exacerbate friction or tensions at the workplace. And remember, the 6th house is also enemies as well. So watch out for that. If you're getting pets at this time, and you've got Mars in the 6th, it's possible that this might be a pet that requires a lot of energy, right? Especially if it's a dog. Maybe this is the type of dog like a husky, that you have to walk them for like 4 hours a day or something crazy. Venus, I know we're talking about Mars, but Venus wants things, because Venus is an energy of cleanliness, but Mars is as well, but just in very different ways, right? Venus wants things to look pretty, whereas Mars wants them to be functional. And so this is like Mars saying, right, come on, let's clean up your day-to-day, let's clean up your environment, let's clean up your work, let's clean up your habits, your patterns, your routines, all of that stuff. Let's give it a good shake up. For this, you've got the Magician card. Love that. With the Three of Cups, so reunions. This could possibly be a reunion with somebody that you've worked with before. This could be a very lucrative, a very mutually beneficial, certainly financially, connection of some sort that comes in. With Mars there, it will require action and energy. It will also require some sort of frank honesty as well. If you find as well that you're maybe having a problem with somebody in the workplace, because the Magician card is here, watch out for, it's all well and good someone giving you information and saying, oh, this person said this or this person said that. What does this person stand to gain from it, right? Because sometimes the Magician card can show up as the trickster. And because you've got this with the Three of Cups, it's likely to be that this person is either a friend or somebody who sort of poses as a friend. So watch out for that. Another way that this could show up, though, this could literally be a reconnection or a reunion of some sort with somebody that you would consider like a peer. And this could be a very wonderful opportunity to make more money, right? Especially as a collective or a collaboration of some sort. Love that. So for your, that's on the 1st of the month, right? So right out of the gate on the 1st of the month. Remember what I said, if I forget the transit date or whatever, you'll find it in the description. On the 16th of the month, where are you? Mercury is going to come into the sign of Taurus. We already have Uranus. We already have Jupiter for not much longer. We've already got the Sun. We've already got Venus. This is a stellium. Your relationships, your partnerships, your significant others, right? Whether you're partnered or single, whether these are personal, professional, or platonic connections of all kinds are coming up here and are being considered at this time. What I like about this stellium is that it really brings your relationships into stark clarity. So wherever you are in partnership with somebody, whether this is personal, professional, or platonic, you're very clear about who the other person is and who you are, like what the relationship is really about. Mercury brings a breath of fresh air to this 7th house as well, because it's bringing communication. All of the other energies are there. They're doing their thing. It's a melting pot of energy in your partnerships. And maybe it's just a lot of intensity in partnerships or relationships. And you're like, oh gosh, I don't really know what to do with this. But then when Mercury comes in, it gives you the ability to communicate. Mercury for you rules your 8th house. And it also rules your 11th house, right? So it might mean that there are conversations around finances and the monetary gains around your work life, especially where clients are considered. The stellium in your 7th house as well is really highlighting all of your partnerships. It's helping you see who's who, what they're really about, how they show up for you, whether this relationship is fair, whether it's giving, what it's getting, or whether you're getting what you're giving, and all of that good stuff. The connections and the collaborations around your significant other as well. So this could also be, big conversations around this. You're clear on the relationships that you've got. And this is what I like about that stellium for you. It's like, yes, it's a lot of energy. Maybe it's a lot of intensity around relationships or partnerships, connections, collaborations, personal, professional, platonic, all of that stuff. But you're clear on it, right? Like that Mercury brings the clarity that you need. Remember, this is Mercury's kind of amplifying what's being said, right? And because it rules financial spaces, this could be conversations around money with any and all partners in general. For this, you've got the Strength card. Don't be... I'm going to tell a Scorpio not to be afraid to say what they've got to say. Okay. All right, we've got the Strength card with the King of Wands. King of Wands, usually a fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, coupled with the Strength card. This is a Leo person. So I'm going to say a Leo male could be featuring for you very strongly at this moment in time. This could be somebody who really plays a supportive role for you, or somebody that you connect with or align with. And look, right, you've got the Two of Cups. Now, remember, this is a relationship house. If you are single, you could be connecting with a Leo, and this person could absolutely rock your world. If you are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, This could be you and your partner finding a way to do something that brings more visibility to the pair of you, but is also a really good way to go with your relationship that becomes lucrative moving forward. There's something here with this Strength card and the King of Wands about you being more vocal or visible, or you accepting what is on offer from whoever it is that you are tied to, right? And what I mean by this is, maybe you say to your partner, I want us to be more spontaneous, and they say to you, well, I'm not spontaneous. This is what you see is what you get. I can't sort of give you any more than I already am. But at least that opens up a dialogue, right? You're able to talk about it. The other thing with that King of Wands, this could also be you demonstrating or going out of your way to demonstrate why you are where you are. So yeah, like that. I like all of it, to be fair. I think so far it's pretty decent. On the 19th of the month, Mars is going to conjunct the North Node at 14 degrees of Aries in that 6th house. Mars, your original ruler, it's coming into that North Node, which is a big energy. It's an amplification point and a fated moment in your daily habits, routines. This could literally be you bump into somebody in the most mundane of places, right? 6th house is the 3rd house is your locality, like it's the shop at the end of the road and all of that stuff. But your 6th house is kind of like your commute, your 3rd house is also your commute actually. But your 6th house would be like how you interact with those things on that day-to-day level. It tends to be your work-a-day kind of stuff, right? So you could be connecting with somebody in a very sort of fated way, in a very local sort of space. It could be that you start a journey for yourself that deep down will be a solo journey, right? It's Aries after all, right? And it's Mars as well. So there could be some journey with your health, with your physical health and vitality, with some area of your work. It's like you're embarking on this journey, but it's like in the depths of who you are, deep down, this is going to be me on my own. All right. The North Node has that Jupiterian element, so it will expand anything that it touches, which is a good thing. But remember, it's insatiable. So be mindful, because this is like a fated development around health. You could get really obsessed with this, right? It could be a really intense diet or some kind of health regime in some regard. Please be careful. Don't go crazy. I know there are a lot of people jumping on this Ozempic bandwagon, and look, the short-term effects might be really desirable, and this is before we started seeing what it was doing to certain people. There was something about this that intuitively I was like, you know what? As much as I want to lose weight right now, I will never go down that path. You know why? Because we don't know what the very long-term consequences are going to be. And I got a really awful feeling that they are going to be really bad. All right? So I'm not going to tell anyone what they should or shouldn't do. I'm not a doctor. This isn't me saying, it is or it isn't. But I'm just saying, watch out for this, especially because you've got this big energy here in the 6th house, right? You could just take it to an extreme, and that, as far as I'm concerned, is an extreme. For this, you've got the 4 of Swords. Take your damn time. You've got all the time that you need. You've got this with the 5 of Wands. That's very interesting. Completely different deck for a totally different sign. Had both of these cards for this specific transit, which tells me that there's 2 ways this will show up. This will be a heightening of all of the war stuff that's happening in the world, or it's possible that we could see some form of a ceasefire in some regard. There's a few reasons that I think that, but we'll see. And then we've got the Knight of Cups. This could see you interacting with a social circle around this. So whatever your goals, your hopes and visions and wishes and dreams and stuff are around this physical health and vitality, or around these day-to-day habits and routines, someone could come forward to say, actually, you know what, I'd really like to help you with this. Or maybe you find what seems like a supportive group who are like, you know what, I'll jump on the bandwagon, I'll do this with you. So I like that. Actually, but take your time with it. Right, this is not the time to get super extreme, because the energy on its own is already one of extremes. And then finally on the 26th, on the 26th of May, Jupiter's going to come into Gemini, come into your 8th house of other people's money, other people's money, resources, death, taxes, loans, mortgages, all of that kind of stuff is 8th house stuff. Jupiter in the 8th is actually lovely. It can really heighten your intuition. It can really see you deciding that you want to study something of an occult nature, which, by the way, my tarot course is up and out there. It's live. If you're watching this as I drop this video, enrollment is open until the 30th of April. You can get your space on the link in the description bar. Remember, with this as well, you're going to get 12 weeks with yours truly. I'm going to give you up to and including 3+, sometimes it's more, but for the most part around 3 hours of my time every week on a Sunday. You get bonus videos, live client demos, class practice, more PDFs than you can shake a stick at, and on top of that you will have access to the replays if you can't make it. Trust me, I've given you everything that you need to take you from that foundation right the way through to intermediate level. All right. I'm very proud of this course. It would be lovely to have you. I won't run this one again this year because I've got other things that I'm hoping to bring for the end of this year. And I will say that I'll probably next year I'll be putting my tarot course up because it's approaching 3-4 years now, and it's been the same price all that time. Okay, so Jupiter coming into the 8th house, right? Enhancing your intuition, expanding your intuitive faculties. It can also bring profound healing on a deep psychological level. It is coming into a conjunction with Venus. This is the 2 benefic planets in a decidedly psychological, spiritual, sexual even, and financial house. On top of that, it's coming directly into a trine with Pluto. This is wonderful, right? This is a really powerful energy and it's a big moment. Now, it could be that you decide to study something of an occult nature. Maybe you're taking my tarot course, but it could also be, because Jupiter is very protective by its nature. But it could be something of a legal matter or legal proceedings as well, specifically around inheritances, death, debt, taxes, all of that kind of stuff. Remember, this is a house of challenge, crisis, and conflict. Jupiter amplifies everything that it touches, so it could bring those situations sort of more frequently or more of them, or expand one that's already going. But it could easily as well bring healing, bring like a healing touch to situations like that. It could bring healing, profound healing to your mental health as well. And it could also help you see, reframe and transcend, or move beyond, should I say, your traumas, right? Your challenges. If you do the work, right? This is just an invitation. It's just an opportunity. For this, you've got the 7 of Swords. 8th house is the house of secrets. You've got this with the Fool card. Be very careful about this, right? If you're thinking, you know what, I'm just going to hide lots of stuff. It's not going to, be careful, all right? Just be careful. So with this, you've got the 6 of Cups. Now, this could be some past secret, some past moment where you kind of just lost your head, where maybe you weren't sort of thinking straight. It's maybe something from your youth that you'd rather not anybody sort of know about or whatever. We've all got a past. All right, I'm just going to tell you that straight up. Even the people that like to pretend that they are oh so holier than thou, we've all got a past. We've all fucked up. We've all made a mistake. We've all done something that was considered a little bit naughty. We've all done something that was probably a little bit taboo. None of your business. All right, we've all explored life, is what I'm trying to say. That's what being human is about. But there's a possibility here that something could come up that maybe you don't want in the public eye, or that you don't want to sort of be known or seen. And so you just want to keep an eye on that. All right. All in all, though, not bad at all. Not too bad. All right. So on the 8th of the month, we're going to have a Taurus new moon. And this for you is going to be in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, significant others, contracts, mergers, all of that kind of stuff is showing up here. So this is a fresh start in all of this, where these things can bring you new connections, new collaborations. For this, you've got the gate 13 and listen. And the message behind this is really to trust your inner voice, right? To trust your internal compass as well. The part of you that speaks very loudly when the world seems to be a bit All right, so just something to consider. But I like this. I actually think that's a really wonderful energy for the new moon. And I gotta say, it's a very nice new moon. All right, like this new moon in Taurus, it is. It's really it's juicy. All right, so use it for something. And then on the 23rd of the month, let's move you over for a minute, big guy. Okay, and then where are you, Luna? Oh, Luna. Here we go. Yep. You will have a full moon in your second house on the 23rd of the month at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. This is in your finance sector, your money, your resources, your self-esteem, your self-worth and value. It's also food as well. Because of this sixth house stuff that you've got going on, I would not be surprised if by the time the full moon shows up, some of you have changed something drastically about your diet. Maybe you were a vegan and you start eating meat. Maybe you are a meat eater and you start going vegan. Maybe you start to only eat whole foods, right? You cut out all of the processed or the packaged stuff. So for your full moon in Sagittarius, which is a party moon, by the way, I love a moon in Sag. Love a moon in Sag, love a moon in Leo, love a moon in Gemini, and I'm a big fan of a moon in Taurus. Love a moon in Taurus, and I really like the moon in Aquarius as well, actually. Those are probably my favourites, I have to say. Now, this Greater Good card, the message behind this is you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. This is highlighting to you where you can make more money through connections or collaborations. You might not necessarily need new ones. These can be people that you're already connected to in some way, people that you already have an affinity to or with. Either which way, this is a great time to make more money through the connections that you have, all right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.